Right now, a San Diego police sergeant is recovering from surgery after a man shot him in the head last night. Good evening, I'm Jesse Pagan. Carlo is off tonight.
I'm Marcella Lee. This happened in Forest Ranch at a shopping center off Forest Commons Drive just after 11:30 last night. Tonight we have team coverage. CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes is live with the latest on the shooting and the investigation and what we know about the sergeant's condition.
CBS 8's Jenny Day talked with people in Forest Ranch where this all happened, and CBS 8's David Gottfredson talked with San Diego Police Chief Dave Nislight. We begin with Kirsten, live at Scripps La Jolla. Kirsten?
Yeah, at last check, that officer is still in the ICU, but Chief Nislight tells us that he is awake, alert, and talking, and is expected to make a recovery, and that is good news given all that he's been through in the last 24 hours. CBS 8 obtained the radio call for help after the shooting happened. We want you to take a listen.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a code 12-1199.
What is it?
Responding to 10525 4S Commons Drive.
1199 is the code law enforcement uses when an officer has been shot. Here's what we know about last night's shooting. SDPD says officers approached a man in a stolen vehicle investigation inside of a store, and then he ran outside. While outside, officers say the man fired at least one shot at the officers, hitting one of them in the head. We don't know if it was a direct bullet injury or a grazing of the head by a bullet, but what we do know is the officer is expected to completely recover. The gunman was shot by police after he fired the first round. We have dashcam video and audio of that shooting where you can hear several shots being fired. The shooter was taken to another hospital and died there around 1 o'clock this morning. SDPD Chief Nislight says this shooting points to a threat to law enforcement.
If you have a suspect that's willing to shoot at law enforcement, they're willing to shoot at anybody. And this goes back to not holding criminals accountable and victims of violent crime losing their voice. And it puts law enforcement in this position where the authority, the narrative about law enforcement creates an environment that's dangerous, even more dangerous.
San Diego police are still investigating the stolen car incident that sparked this shooting. San Diego Sheriff's Department is investigating the officer-involved shooting, which is protocol when there is an officer involved in a shooting. Reporting for CBS 8, I'm Kirsten Holmes. Back to you.
Now, Kirsten, for folks who may not be aware or have gone into much depth on it, why are San Diego Sheriff's deputies involved in the shooting that involves San Diego Police or other agencies involved in other agency situations?
That's right. There is a countywide memo that offers a type of checks and balances. When there's a shooting for San Diego Police, that's when the Sheriff's Department gets involved and help with that investigation. Jesse?
All right, Kirsten Holmes kicking off our team coverage tonight. Kirsten, thank you.
Gunfire in a grocery store parking lot is unusual and unsettling in any neighborhood.
CBS 8's Jenny Day is live in Forest Ranch, continuing our team coverage tonight after talking with folks there. Jenny?
Yeah, this is a popular and typical shopping center, a grocery store, a bank, Chipotle, Jamba Juice. We certainly all know the world that we live in, but still not a place anyone would expect a gunfight with police.
Terrible news, and then also very scary because, we frequent this shopping center.
Forest Ranch, once filled with eucalyptus trees and livestock, now described on a community website as a dynamic and richly diverse community. Quiet, tree-lined neighborhoods with 22 acres of community parks.
We have an extremely low crime rate here.
It's a very family-friendly neighborhood.
Probably one of the best neighborhoods in California.
Thursday night at the Forest Commons Town Center, that sense of security was shaken.
We easily could have been in this parking lot.
You don't ever visualize that there would be something this tragic.
And I've been living here for almost 20 years now. I've never heard of this thing before.
This video sent to us by a CBS 8 viewer showing a large police presence. Right out front of the Ralph's End UPS store, there are now pools of blood and broken brick from shots fired.
A lot of the neighbors in the middle of the night had been wondering what was going on with all the sirens and the helicopters.
The suspect shot and killed by police right on this typically busy sidewalk. For this suburban community, crime scene tape is not the norm.
Yeah, I have friends that are police officers, and it just breaks my heart because they shouldn't be, especially for a stolen car in a safe neighborhood. That is not what you would expect.
The only ounce of comfort being that it happened late at night and that the San Diego police sergeant is expected to be okay.
I do feel that these police officers, they run into the danger, whereas I would be running away from it. And so for that, I thank God.
Yeah, and a very large portion of this parking lot was blocked off by police tape for some 15 plus hours, and all of the businesses inside that tape were forced to be closed most of the day. Happy to report, though, everything is now back open. Reporting live tonight from Forest Ranch, Jenny Day, CBS 8.
All right, Jenny, thank you. Now, according to data from SDPD, gun threats and violence against officers is at a 5-year high right now.
3 San Diego police officers have been shot in the past 12 months. CBS 8's David Gottfredson takes a closer look at the recent shootings.
This is my 3rd officer that's been hit in the last 12 months, but I've had multiple other officers shot at.
Even before last night's shooting of a San Diego police sergeant in Forest Ranch, the number of gun threats and shootings of San Diego police officers was at a 5-year high. As CBS 8 reported in September, so far in 2023, 2 SDPD officers have been threatened with a gun, 5 officers were shot at, and 2 San Diego officers have been wounded. Since December of last year, 3 San Diego officers have been wounded by gunfire.
Pulling into a parking lot here, 926 South 45th.
This was the scene on December 12th of last year in a Mountain View apartment complex. San Diego officer Javier Hernandez chasing the driver of a stolen truck on foot, who is seen in this police chopper video turning and opening fire on the officer.
Watch yourself, shots fired, shots fired.
Officer Hernandez was shot 3 times but survived his wounds thanks to his bulletproof vest.
There was a bullet intact extracted from inside that vest. Fortunately, it did not go through. The vest stopped that bullet.
The alleged shooter, Andrew Garcia, has pleaded not guilty, and he is still awaiting trial nearly a year after the shooting. Another San Diego police officer was shot in the arm on June 8th of this year during a foot chase in City Heights, also involving a stolen truck. Officers arrested J.C. Sarter after a 6-day manhunt. Court records show he has a lengthy criminal history. A preliminary hearing still has not been set. So all 3 of those cases where San Diego police officers got shot over the past 12 months, all 3 of those incidents began as calls related to stolen vehicles. At the downtown San Diego Police Headquarters, David Gottfredson, CBS 8.